Welcome to the Sprinkled with Hope podcast.
This is Jason. And this is Shane.
And it's podcast time.
Welcome back to Sprinkle with Hope podcast and your host Shane. And today we're going to be talking about finding peace and the peace that comes with some of the things we're going to talk about. So surprise, I'm going to hit you off with a quote. It's from Desmond Tutu. He was a South African bishop and theologian. And he says, do your little bit of good where you are. It's those little bits of good put together that overwhelm the world. And I just thought, starting with that quote, of course, we love to quote things. And I'm going to talk a little bit about doing good for yourself and for others. And that brings peace. At least that's my opinion. But he says, if you do those little bits, then we can overwhelm the world. That's really the thing that can change the world, is those little tiny things that we all do collectively put together will overwhelm the world. I just love that, how we put that. And so again, we love starting with quotes, and today was no different. Some of the things that as I thought about finding peace in my life, the one thing that came to mind is self-love. And when I talk about self-love in this case, finding peace, it means that I'm kind to myself, that I'm saying those I ams. I am strong, I am worthy of, I am love, all of those things. I'm showing myself love by being kind to myself. And I really believe if we do that, if we put those positive, good things in our mind and we're kind to ourselves, then we can find peace within ourselves, our soul, our mind, those type of things. Not only can we be kind to ourselves, but we can also be kind to others. Now, when I'm talking about being kind to others, I'm saying go and serve people. Show them that you care about them. Not just being kind, like being nice to them, but being kind in the sense that you're serving them. I believe and I feel when I serve others, then I'm at peace. I just love that, the feelings that I get, not only for myself, but also people are like, yeah, thank you so much for showing kindness to me and serving me. And so I think when we step out of ourselves and serve others, that we can also find peace within ourselves.
I love that. And here we go. I'm hitting you with one right off the bat too. So Mike Ditka, who, if you follow any NFL for any amount of time, you'll hear his name. But he said this: success isn't measured by money or power or social rank. Success is measured by your discipline and inner peace. And I just thought that was cool because, yeah, we talk about success and what that kind of looks like, failures along the way. But I like that he put, you got to have inner peace as well to find that success. So as I was thinking about finding peace and what that meant, or what a peace of mind could be described as, is at ease within yourself. Shane kind of talked about that. A sense of self-compassion, which is also another piece that Shane just talked about, with that self-love and what that looks like. Unruffled by day-to-day worries and prepared to welcome whatever life tosses your way. So that's just a couple of thoughts that I had as I was thinking about what peace of mind or what that inner peace would look like and feel like, is just being at ease with yourself, right? Otherwise you're at dis-ease, or you have a dis-ease. And so, I've heard of that many times, that you want to have that inner peace, otherwise you're going to have dis-ease. Also, another quote that I have, and I'm not sure what she does, but she said this. Lori Deschene said, peace is accepting today, releasing yesterday, and giving up the need to control tomorrow. And I just thought that went so fittingly with what we're talking about, and having that peace that you're really trying to look for and what that actually feels like.
Yeah, that just made me think. She talks about not controlling tomorrow, and I think often we want to control all of these things in life, but we can't control some of them that we want to. So if we get rid of the idea that we're going to only focus on the things we can control, which is a very small amount, and it's today, it's not focusing on tomorrow. You can't control that, like she says. I just thought that was really good. That's a good quote. A few of the other things that I thought about is stay away from negativity. Now, we talk a lot about positivity, all of that stuff. And I believe if we stay away from the negativity, that we really can find inner peace much quicker than if we dive into the negativity. And that could be around people. It could be looking on social media and looking at the negative things that are happening, and those things, and those things aren't even happening around us, but we welcome that negativity. And when we look at it and when we focus on those things, and if we just say we don't want to focus on that negativity, we're going to step away from it and look at the positive stuff, we're going to find peace in our lives much quicker. And then the last thing I wanted to talk about was laugh. Jason and I, we've talked about these things in other episodes, and I think they tie in to almost everything that we talk about. If you want to find peace, do these things. Be kind, serve others. Don't be in negative situations, or focus on positive. And then laughing. Laughing is such a great way to fix a lot of things in life. But I think often we get too caught up in the day-to-day stuff, and we don't step back and laugh. And a quote, I mean, not a quote, but a joke that I heard while we were together with family on Thanksgiving, that one of my sisters-in-law said. She said, do you know, let me think, do you know that, I can't remember what it is. I'll think about it, and if I remember it, I will share it at the end. But another quote that I had from Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and he was a minister and an activist, and I love this quote. This is very famous for what he talks a lot about this. He says, darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. And I agree. I think as we're talking about peace or positivity or hope or love, anything, light's the only thing that can remove darkness. And the only thing that can remove hate is love. So if you want to love and be more loving to yourself and others, then just be more loving. It's actually pretty simple. It's the only thing that can drive out hate. There's a lot of things going on in the world today. And so I think the one thing to really focus on is love. And so, I've given you some really basic things that we can do. And I honestly think laughing is one of the best things you can do. I will see if I can remember that joke. It really is funny.
Good. Yeah, I want to hear it. So, I'm hopefully spark something while I'm talking that'll help you remember. But I thought of 6 things that you can do, because I kind of like to have lists of things that will help. So the first one was accept what you can't change or control. So if it's out of your control, then why bother with it? And some of those questions that you can ask or ways to practice is, what's happening right now won't last forever. So it's a question you can ask yourself and say to yourself. But in the meantime, you're doing your best, right? Or this is a tough situation, but I can get through it. And so those are things that you can tell yourself. It's sort of an affirmation to say, yeah, this is a hard situation, but I can get through this. And so that's something that you can practice, but accept what you can't change or control. Practice forgiveness. We've talked about that before as well. So in a 2016 research study, adults of varying ages who felt more forgiving over the course of 5 weeks experienced less stress and fewer mental health symptoms. And we've talked about forgiving, and the power of forgiveness is so great that we can't even describe it. And they've tried to capture it, obviously, in different research studies, but I don't think the overall effects of what forgiveness actually brings to somebody is measurable. because you can't measure that part of your life. Practice mindfulness meditation. And my question to that is, if you haven't given meditation a try, what's the harm in it? What's it going to hurt to just try meditation to see if it works? If it doesn't work, well, then at least you know that it's not something that's going to work for you. But if you haven't tried it, give it a whirl, right? Give it the old college try. Fourth thing is make time for yourself. So it's important to allow time for you to be able to reflect and think about your situation, what you could do differently, what you could do better. I think giving yourself some time to think of whatever it is, whether it's on a car ride home, you're thinking about your day and how it could be better or done differently tomorrow. What you could do this evening to make it your day better than what it's already been, right? If it started out and you're like, oh, today's already been a rough day, maybe there's something you can change while you're on your drive home to make your evening better. Keep a journal. We've talked about that as well. Gratitude journal, something like that will help you jot down some thoughts. I always think back that, man, I wished I would have wrote that down, because when my kids say things or whatever, and like, oh, that's funny, I should write that down. You really should. Some of those things I have wrote down, but some I have not, and wished I would have. It's a lot harder to get it on the back end, than it is right when you're in the moment. And sometimes when you're going through something hard or difficult and you're trying to get that inner peace, that could be a way to say, oh, wow, that's how I got through that. That's a really cool thing to see on the hindsight. And then get back to nature. Shane and I love hiking and doing outdoor activities, going for walks and things like that. I think going wherever you're at, going and being out in nature is a great way to find inner peace. And then I have two last quotes. One from Virginia Woolf. She said, "You cannot find peace by avoiding life." And I thought that was really cool. Life happens, and you definitely won't be able to find it if you're trying to avoid what's going on around you. And then Wayne Dyer, who we've quoted before, he's kind of all about personal development and growth. He said, "Peace is the result of retraining your mind to process life as it is rather than as you think it should be." And I just thought that was a really good one, because, yeah, I think that we're trying to say, oh, this is life as it is, rather than, oh, it should be like this. So I just thought those were two really good quotes that I wanted to end with.
Yeah. So I remember
Let's hear it.
Do you know that diarrhea is hereditary? It runs in the genes.
Well,
but I think with all of this, with what we're talking about today, and really everything that we talk about, whether it be us or a guest, it comes down to being mindful about the thing that you do. That's really what it is. Be mindful of the things that you want. If you want more peace in your life, be mindful about that. Think about it. Focus about it. Just do those things. Take action. That's really what it comes down to, is taking mindful action, no matter what you want in life. And I know these are so simple things, but yet if you want more peace, you just have to do these simple things. It comes down to that, just being mindful and taking action on anything you want in life. And we know, because we do it every day, taking action will get you so much further in life than simply not taking action. So hopefully you got something out of this. We appreciate you. We care about you. We see you from all over the world. Thank you so much for the support you give us. And truly, from us to you, we appreciate you.